A warm welcome to all. So, we finished our theoretical part in the taxonomy. Now, we are moving on to the discussion of families. So, first of all, we can discuss the family Magnoliaceae is placed by various taxonomists according to their classifications. One classification is like this: subclass 2 Magnoliidae, suborder Magnolianae, order Magnoliales, family. Coming under this Magnoliales are Myristicaceae, Magnoliaceae, Degeneraceae, Hematoandraceae, Eupamaceae and Annonaceae, all primitive families. But we are following the classification by Bentham and Hooker. According to him, it is included in the subclass Polypetalae and the series Thalamiflorae and order Rhanales. And this order Rhanales includes the families like Ranungulaceae, Menispermaceae, then Berberidaceae, and also Ceratophyllaceae, Nymphaceae and so on. So, this is the classification of Rhanales by Engler and Prandtl. And in our system of classification by Bentham and Hooker, you are to follow. And coming under this Ranungulaceae, then Magnoliaceae, etc. So, we are moving on to the family Magnoliaceae. Okay. It is described by D. Jussieu, and this is also known as Magnolia family based on the type Magnolia, and this group includes about 7 genera and 182 species. Okay, 7 genera, and usually growing in the warm temperate to tropical conditions, usually occur in the Southeast, North and Central America, West Indies, etc. India also very few species occur. Then major genera coming under Magnoliaceae are Magnolia with about 80 species, Michelia with about 40 species, and Talauma with 40 species, and Liriodendron to about 2 species. And also it is very important to mention one plant Schizandra, that is a climber coming under this group also. Then Acclimandra also is there. The plant is family is characterized by usually trees or shrub, its habit. And peculiar feature is the vessels in the cell. You know the evolution by tracing out the evolution from gymnosperms into angiosperms. Actually the advancement in the vessels, and scalariform ends also there, and vessels without pits also you can see in this. Then its leaves are usually evergreen and deciduous leaves falling off, and one case only it is dissected, that is Liriodendron, and pinnatified or entire or pinnately veined usually. Stipules, large and sheathing stipules are usually present. Okay. Then caducous condition, that is buds, means they will fall off. Okay. And after fall off, it will create a ring shaped scar on the node. That's also important. Then inflorescence usually solitary, but that may be of terminal or axillary in position. Flowers are bracteate, and bracts are spathaceous, that is very large also, and that is very important. And flowers are bisexual flowers, and they are regular also. Usually we can call the flowers with perianth, not distinguished into sepals and corolla. Usually 6 to 18 tepals, number is more, and they are all free. They are graded from sepals to petal, transitions moving on, or petal like usually all colored. Okay. Then spirally arranged or in whorls, different whorls. Usually color is white or cream, in 1 or 2 cases only pink color. They are deciduous. So, very important, perianth is there, that is its unit are tepal, usually corolla colored, that is with cream or white in color. That is an advanced feature of primitive feature of this group, and more number, and also occur in whorls or occur in spirally arranged condition. This is very important, significant character of the family Magnoliaceae. Okay. Now, androecium is also numerous stamens, and they develop centripetally. There are a apical structure, a cone-like structure around which spirally arranged stamens you can see, and stamens all are fertile, usually laminar, means the primitive natured stamen is also present, strap shaped or adnate conditions, and they are appendaged usually due to the prolongation of connective. Okay. connective prolonged out and become appendage condition. You know, in Anonaceae you studied in your UG classes, you can see a hood-like structure, connective extend out to the anther and form a hood-like. Somewhat such a structure also present here or maybe absent. Pollen grains are monosulcate. So, this is the primitive nature, that is numerous stamens and also the structure of connective extension into a prolonged structure. Okay. Now, gynoecium is also same condition, free carpels, about 200, apocarpus condition, and also carpel fully or incompletely closed with 20 up to 20 ovules. Marginal placentation is there, ovule pendulous in conditions. Then bitegmic crassinucleate, stigma extending down the style but somewhat terminal. So, this is the flower structure, you know. This is the condition, dome shaped structure, stamens and carpels arranged. Just remember Anonaceae family, you can see somewhat a similar structure, but here flowers are large. See Lepidoptera, see how it is arranged, gynoecium and here the stamens. Then fruit is a aggregate fruit, apocarpus condition, you know, the fruit developed from apocarp is aggregate. So, they may be of follicles usually or indehiscent samaras, in example Liriodendron, or united into fleshy syncarp, etc. Endospermic seeds are present. Pollination is usually by beetles, that is also a primitive character. Okay. See, this is the fruit, aggregate fruit. Economic importance of the family. So, various species of the magnolia species are all economically important, especially used for timber and also grown as ornamentals. And some member Liriodendron is a valuable timber used in USA, and also species of magnolia are Michelia are also timber yielding. Then phylogeny, very important. This family is considered as most primitive and base of actually angiosperms, and also different views regarding its primitive features, and also some may consider it as advanced, and view first challenged by Smith. According to him, Magnoliaceae are highly specialized vegetatively and florally, but it is a controversy. Usually it shows primitive nature. Some of the primitive features are spirally arranged, I already told you, spirally arranged floral parts. The laminar stamens, nature of stamens, laminar leaf-like. Then fruit follicle, that is apocarpus condition also. Then longer and narrow vessels, monosulcate pollen grains, beetle pollination, then perianth nature. All these considered as what? Primitive. So, more number of stamens, more number of carpels, more number of tepals also considered as primitive feature of the family Magnoliaceae. So, these are the some of the diagram. This is the stamen. You can see the laminar shaped stamens, some extensions upward by connective, and these are the fruits section of the flower. You can see the dome shaped thalamus, then stamens and gynoecium at the apical portions. Okay. This is the Michelia champaca. This plant, pon champacum, usually named in our local areas. Highly fragrant flowers, usually used in temples and sacred purposes, and its timber is also valuable. This plant you can press as your herbarium sheet. Michelia champaca. Okay. See all petals, sepals, and not differentiate everything, all single colored. See the stamens and also the gynoecium. Okay. This is the Magnolia obovata. See the conditions, stamens and carpels and tepals also, all in numerous. Foliar nature of stamens. So, this is the primitive nature of the family Magnoliaceae. Okay. And so, I hope you understood well the family Magnoliaceae. So, you have to thoroughly study the diagnostic features, primitive features and economic importance of the family Magnoliaceae. Okay. And for your practical, usually Magnolia flower or flower of Michelia to show the primitive condition. So, you have to explain the primitive flower while Magnolia is given. Okay. So, that is all about the family Magnoliaceae. Questions: what are the primitive features of the Magnoliaceae? What is the nature of androecium in Magnoliaceae? So, like questions may also arise, economic importance also. So, I hope you understood well. Thank you.